Good morning, friends. Is there a similarity between Darwin's theory of evolution and Lord Vishnu's Dashavatara concept, which is most famous in the Hindu's mythology? Presence of life on Earth has always been one of the most fascinating topics for all human beings since thousands of years. How so many species came into existence? Who created them? Did they all came into existence together on this planet the moment life started? Or did they evolve themselves through variations? All these questions reached their end when Charles Darwin, a naturalist, proposed the theory of evolution. Let's see what Darwin's theory says. He proposed that the natural selection was the reason behind it and proposed that all species of organisms arose and developed through the natural selection of small and inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive, and reproduce. Those species which could not accept the variation died off and got vanished. However, the reason I am writing this piece of striking similarity between some theories of evolution and the concept of Dashavatara. Hindu religion and mythology is probably the oldest in the world. Not only this, but it also tells about the wonderful concept of avatars of Lord Vishnu, the preserver in the Hindu pantheon, which is very similar to that of Darwin's and other theories of evolution. Vishnu is the God Almighty. He is omnipotent and has been manifesting himself on this planet Earth since the time immemorial to save it from the evil and get rid of all the corruption and the anarchy which is prevailed. But the interesting and very significant aspect of his avatars or manifestations on the earth is that it has unmatched similarity with the Darwinism's theory of evolution as well as other theories. The way Darwin told the world that the species adopted certain variations and developed themselves accordingly, and the way Vishnu's manifestations have taken shape in the stories is quite same. There is a similarity. All this is very mysterious and unknown as to how the evolution known to scientists much later had already been told thousands and many more thousands of years ago. Let's have a look at these points. The evolution of Darwinism tells us that the life originated from a common ancestor. Theories also suggest that the life originated from the sea and in the sea. In Hindu's mythology, it has been told that the world originated from Adi Jal, which is the eternal cosmic water. Matsya Avatar. Now comes the theory of evolution and Dashavatars of Lord Vishnu. Life, according to theories of evolution, started with the invertebrates and then came vertebrates in the ocean in the form of fishes. In Hindu mythology, Vishnu's first incarnation of the Dashavatar is Matsya Avatar, and Vishnu appears in the form of a fish to save the life from ultimate destruction. Then comes the Kurma Avatar. Theories of evolution tells us that the life came out of the ocean and started walking on the land in the form of amphibians and reptiles. Tortoise is a reptile, and this is the second avatar of Lord Vishnu in the Dashavatar. Vishnu appeared as Kurma avatar or tortoise to have a Mandira Parvat or mountain put on his back to support the churning of the ocean by Devatas and Asuras in order to bring Amrita, which is the nectar of life, out of the ocean. After this, evolution tells us that the animals started walking on the land and became more efficient and started adapting to the conditions of terrestrial region, which is the third avatar of Lord Vishnu, which is Varaha avatar. To save the earth from the evil demons, God himself taken the incarnation of a wild boar who is considered as extremely ferocious and cruel, which is Varaha avatar. In the theory of evolution, it is also said that there are many wild animals involved in the initial stages of development, and it is also said that the human beings have ancestors common with the chimpanzees and many other wild animals. There are many theories claiming that some links in the process of evolution are missing and very mysterious as to how animals evolved as human beings. This link aptly resembles the fourth avatar of Lord Vishnu, which is Narasimha avatar. Lord Vishnu this time manifested himself as half human and half lion and came as Narasimha avatar to kill evil demon king Hiranyakashyap to save his devotee called Prahalad. This stage tells how transition took place from animals to human beings. Then comes the Vamana avatar. In the process of evolution, now humans came and evolved. They appeared not as they appear today. They could probably be midgets between dwarf. They were not in the same appearance as we are today, but due to the evolution from animals and due to new climatic conditions for their form, they might have been the midgets, like a small sized animals or human beings. Next, which is the fifth avatar of Vishnu, is the form of a dwarf called Vamana avatar and is similar to the new evolved humankind. This time he came to send the Asura king Bali Chakravarti to the underworld. In the series of perfect evolution, now came the human beings who were somewhat like us, but lived in caves and known as early man. In the Dashavatars theory also, Vishnu's sixth avatar was that of Parashuram. We know that in this age, in the history of humankind, early man would live in forests and caves and would use the weapons of wood and stones. So did the Parashuram. He lived in mountains doing penance. He is famous for his anger. At the same time, he always carries an axe, which is made of stone and wood. Early man at this stage used to act without much reason and did not know the reason of life. It not completely but to some extent resembles with the story of Parashuram, who was so furious that killed and vanished the Kshatriya kingdom from the earth mercilessly. He would do penance to know about consciousness and indeed was a conscious soul at the same time. Then comes the Rama avatar. When early men came out of their caves and started living in a society as civilized human beings, they were made rules and followed them to lay the foundation of a society which is based on righteousness. They gave more importance to relationships, respect, righteousness, and justice. All these factors can be seen with perfection in the next and seventh avatar of Lord Vishnu. Lord Rama, who was the seventh avatar of Vishnu, was perfect in respecting relationships and elders. He was perfect in justice. And he was perfect in establishing a society based on the policies of righteousness, Rama Rajyam. This is extremely wonderful to see how society of Lord Rama's time was very much similar to earlier civilized societies of humankind. Then evolution came to an end as far as physical appearance is considered, but mentally humans evolved even more after this stage and are still evolving. When man established the good society where everyone was satisfied, the major issues started taking place, such as land disputes at a major level. Not only living with sheer righteousness, but also how to take right decisions to achieve righteousness. At this point, man started knowing about more intelligence of mind, not only in the terms of physical reality, but also in the metaphysical reality. Man started realizing about philosophy and metaphysics, knowing self-identity, time, space, life, and death, etc. Materialism was indeed an important factor for man of this stage, but more important was a philosophical knowledge. I think many of us can guess which avatar I am talking about now. It is the seventh avatar of Lord Vishnu, which is Krishna. It is the perfection itself. In every sense, he is a master of philosophy. He tells the ultimate knowledge of Gita to the world. He is completely self-conscious and knows what inner life is. He knows about every aspect of life and life after life or death. He knows about karmas, moksha, and how to be one with God. Krishna told how to achieve what is your right, and being adaptable, hardworking, and by taking right decision which suits the condition that you are facing. After this stage, man aware of philosophical terms of knowledge started practicing it and tried to achieve the moksha. Whatever is told by the Lord Vishnu in the form of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of Krishna, is being practiced by the next avatar, which is of Gautama Buddha. He preached the world what enlightenment and nirvana is. Nirvana, another word for moksha, was achieved by Buddha. He is an enlightened one. Man arose above the materialism and started practicing the philosophy of metaphysics. This stage of mental evolution is equal to Buddha's enlightenment teachings. Now comes the final stage in which we are living. We have seen above 9 stages of evolution, both physical and metaphysical. But what is now? What is to be achieved after nirvana or moksha has been realized by humans. The evolution many times proposed that whatever is created has to be destroyed in order to begin the process of creation all over again. And this is very aptly fits into the theory of Dashavatar. When morality, dharma and ethics are not followed, when selfishness fills in the minds of human beings, when man becomes the biggest enemy of the other man, when one tries to kill the other person for the success of himself, when there is no justice for the common man, when good human beings live in the caves and the forest out of fear of others, then the Kalki avatar of Vishnu will arrive and will destroy the whole creation except few humans who believe in Dharma. This avatar will be completely perfect and would know every aspect of life. He will be self-realized person, yet will end the creation. Species will be finished by him and the whole process of creation would take place again. Here the extremely powerful weapons of Kalki may have the similarities with the nuclear and other extremely powerful weapons that the world has today. Also the world is having the heap of nuclear weapons today, and probably the holocaust caused by these weapons would make the world imperfect and pave the way for the final avatar of Lord Vishnu. He also will have the equal and even more powerful weapons to destroy the imperfect world for the new creation and for the fresh evolution process. I don't know whether the concept is right or wrong, but these similarities compelled me to make this video, which is extremely mysterious yet very interesting.